Now, you realise, miss, that by rights I shouldn't be doing this, but I can't see that it'll do any harm. Now, this is the room where it happened. You've no need to fret. He's no here anymore, but everything else is just the way it was. Ready? Well then, you look at this. Aye, it's quite a sight, isn't it? Who'd have thought the poor soul had so much blood in him? Oh, my God. Miss? Miss? Oh, my good God.
Listen to this. Sensational development in the Lucas case.
What is it?
Killer identified.
Who was it? Anyone relevant to us?
No, I'm afraid not. It was his wife.
His wife? I thought he was unmarried.
Yeah, so did his host of lady friends. He was married in Paris under the name of Henri Fournet.
A double life. You remember, he was often abroad for months at a stretch.
It seems that Madame Fournet has just been diagnosed as insane. Wait. Yes. Mania of a dangerous and permanent form, attacks of frenzy. The French police discovered that she'd just returned from a visit to London. And apparently she was actually seen outside the house. Here. There, you see?
Doesn't help us much.
Oh, surely it's final as regards the man's death.
The man's death is a mere incident, a trivial episode.
Holmes, no man's death is trivial.
Well, in comparison with our real task, to trace this document and prevent a catastrophe, only one important thing has happened in the last 3 days, and that is that nothing has happened. I get reports hourly from Mycroft. There's no sign of trouble anywhere in Europe.
So at least we know that the letter can't be loose.
But if it isn't loose, then where can it be? Who has it? Why is it held back? And that's the question that beats in my brain like a hammer.
So do you think it was a coincidence, after all, that Lucas was killed on the night of the theft?
Did the letter reach him? If it did, why isn't it amongst his papers? Did this mad wife of his carry it off with her? Is it in her house in Paris?
Perhaps we should go to Paris.
Well, how could I search for it without arousing the suspicions of the French police? This is a case where the law is as dangerous to us as the criminals are.
It does seem as if every man's hand is against us.
But the interests at stake are colossal. Watson, if I bring this to a successful conclusion, it will certainly be the crowning glory of my career.
Yes, Mrs. Hudson?
Another telegram, Mr. Holmes.
My latest news from the front.
Holmes, that's in extremely bad taste.
I'm wrong. It's from Lestrade. He says he's found something that will interest us.
Well, it's a trifle, really. But the sort of thing you take an interest in. Queer, you know. Freakish, even.
What is it, Inspector?
Now, you know, after a murder, we're always careful to keep things in their exact position. Nothing's been moved. A constable here day and night. Standard procedure.
Yes.
Well, now that our French friends have solved it for us, the whole matter's closed. So we thought we could tidy up a bit. And when we lifted up this carpet, do you know what we found?
What did you find?
You'll never guess in 100 years.
Tell us, Inspector.
I'll show you, Doctor. Look at the bloodstain on the carpet there.
What about it?
Well, a good deal of blood must have soaked through, mustn't it?
Yes, of course.
Then you'll be surprised to see this. There's no corresponding stain on the parquet underneath.
No stain.
At the bottom of the carpet is marked as the top. There's got to be a stain.
Now I'll show you the explanation.
No stain on the woodwork.
Look, there is a second stain, but it's over here, under this corner. What do you make of that?
Simple enough. The two stains did correspond, but the carpet's been turned round through 90 degrees.
Exactly. But what I want to know is this. Who shifted the carpet and why? Mr. Holmes?
Lestrade, the constable outside. Has he been on duty there all the time?
Him and one other, in shifts.
There's an excellent chance. Talk to him. Interrogate him.
Do you think he moved the carpet?
I think he knows who did. Tell him you know that someone's been in here. Say that a full confession is his only chance of forgiveness.
By George, if he does now, I'll have it out of him. Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Constable Macpherson?
Now, what's now? The carpet. What are you looking for? This. Aren't you going to look inside? No. No? But is it there? Watson, of course not. Holmes.
But, sir, if you just let
Quick, get it back again.
yourself lucky you're not explaining to the Chief Constable. Get in here, Macpherson.
Inspector,
And let these gentlemen hear about your inexcusable conduct.
I meant no harm, sir, I'm sure. The young woman came to the door last evening, mistook the house, she did, and then we got talking.
Talking indeed.
It's lonesome when you're on duty here all day.
Oh, lonesome. Good God above.
Now, what happened then, Constable?
She wanted to see where the crime was done. She'd read about it in the paper, she said. I saw no harm in letting her have a peep.
Who was she? Do you know?
I don't know the name, sir. She was answering an advertisement about typewriting and came to the wrong number.
What was she like?
She was very respectable, well-spoken young woman, sir.
Not a lady.
Not from her dress or her speech, sir, no.
A servant, perhaps?
If she was, sir, she'd be from an uncommon fine house and in a good position.
Indeed.
Aye, sir, that would be my thought.
What happened when you showed her in here?
Well, sir, when she saw that blood stain on the carpet, down she dropped and lay as if she were dead.
Yes, and you, no doubt, ran round the corner to the public house.
The ivy plant, aye, sir.
For some medicinal brandy.
It seemed the only thing to do, sir, at the time. Only, by the time I brought it back, the young woman had recovered and was off. Ashamed of herself, I dare say. Didn't want to face me.
Yes, no doubt. Now, Constable Macpherson, did you move the carpet?
I straightened it out a touch, yes, sir. You see, it had got a bit rumpled.
Yes, of course it had. Thank you, Constable.
Sir,
Let this be a lesson to you that you can't deceive me, Macpherson. No doubt you thought that your breach of duty would never be discovered, but a mere glance at that carpet told me that someone had been let into this room. A mere glance.
Thank you, Lestrade. You were quite right. It was. Most interesting.
Yes, indeed.
My pleasure, gentlemen. And as for you, Macpherson, it's lucky that nothing was taken or you'd find yourself in Queer Street.
Inspector.
No one else gets through this door without my permission. Is that clear?
Perfectly clear, sir.
Good. Well, if you'll excuse me, gentlemen...
Yes, of course, of course. Good day, Lestrade. Constable Macpherson.
Sir?
A private word, if you please.